So, if the artist recreates the world, um, what can you say to the community? Like almost that housekeeping. I say almost like, you know, at the family does all the major stuff. You know, we do the food shopping and go to service, maybe to church. But when you have that family meeting, so what's the stuff that you want to tell the artistic community? That kind of family meeting, that house stuff, that little stuff, cleanup stuff that we need to talk about.
From the artist's perspective is to really be in tune with point of view. If you can grasp the point of view of your community, you know, rather it be gang violence, rather it be unemployment rate, rather it be the social economics of the Essex County, rather it be educational system, if we can really target and get the pulse of the point of view of the community, we can connect, we can get to the heart. And once we get to the heart, their minds open up, their acceptance to our craft, whether it be visually as our artists, or rather it be intellectually as our writers, or rather it be the showman and the entertainment aspect of the spoken word artists bring to the table. If we establish and identify the point of view of our community, they'll let us in, and we'll be able to establish relationships with them. You know, people always want, when they read and they sit down to your work, they want to know if they can relate to what you got going on. You know, they like the witchery, they like the how you can flip words and how you can be colorful, but at the end of the day, can they relate to what you're actually saying? And I've been very focused on point of view, and you know, really taking these small messages and trying to give them life. And I figure if, as an artist, and all of us, if we do that, they'll let us in. And then our messages, because I think all of us have messages. We have underlying messages that we want to get out. But the key is, can we establish trust from our community, from the family? We establish trust from the outsiders who are not poets or readers or artists, you know. And if, once you establish that, you have them. And then you can go from there.
That's an excellent point, because we are disjointed. And because we're disjointed, we don't have any power. So we should have, yesterday Rodney Gilbert was talking about how we should have more connection in terms of companies or organizations of artists, of DJs. No, that wasn't Rodney, that was Kevin Darmody. Okay. But we're still saying the same thing. So we have to pull us in some more. Exactly what you're saying. So, but we have to be able to get that out of the community. The community has to, like you're saying, connect to that, so we can go in front of City Hall with a proposal or change that we need in our block, or we can go in front of corporations. But we can't do that as single entities. You know, we don't have the power to do that because it's the nature of how this country is set up.
Yeah, you're right. One thing that and just to go off your point, it's about establishing relationships. And you want to establish relationships in the political sector, in the educational field. You want to establish relationships because, you know, relationships are power, and power puts you in a position of actually making change. And the poets, you know, in the poetry or the artist world, we're so quick to do things for free. We're so quick to sacrifice.
You going to my next question? All right. Go ahead.
No, and once again, it's just about establishing relationship, because once you can get power and numbers all together, then people start to attract to those numbers. People start to go to where everybody else is going. But when it's 20 people into one coffee shop and it's, you know, close to 1 million people in Newark, then we're not establishing the right relationships. Okay, because a lot of powerful things are saying in those coffee shops, but unfortunately those messages need to be spread at the very least to, I would say, 50,000. And if we can get that and get everybody in the same mind frame, because those messages are powerful. You know, a lot of these poets, you know, these Mia X's, those Starskys, those, you know, Saladins, you know, a lot of, you know, Elliot Fantz, you know, a lot of these people are saying some powerful things that can really help these questions you have. And when you first started off with your question, I just thought about the 400-year fact that we don't identify as Africans. We're African Americans, whereas you have these, you know, other beautiful nationalities that identify as Italian, identify as this, that, and the third. So we're already disjointed from birth, you know, let alone artistically and socially. You know, how do we now come together when we done learned all these bad tricks over the years? So once again, when we're just talking about poets, we're talking getting the messages out, getting with the people that have power and that have the masses behind them.
Excellent. Make sure you get that. Make sure you did